James was a new engine who lived at a station at the other end of the line. He had 2 small wheels in front and 6 driving wheels behind. They weren't as big as Gordon's, and they weren't as small as Thomas's.
James was enjoying his life on the island of Sodor, but he still had a lot to learn.
The Fat Controller told him, "You're a special mixed traffic engine,"
said the Fat Controller.
"You'll be able to pull coaches or trucks quite easily.
But you must learn by your mistakes," said the Fat Controller. James knew what the Fat Controller meant.
Trucks are not easy things to manage.
He could well remember that dreadful accident on his first day.
On his first day, they'd pushed James down a hill into a field. He'd been ill after the accident, but now he had new brakes and a shining coat of red paint. The Fat Controller was quite kind to James. "The red paint will cheer you up after your accident. You can pull coaches today, and Edward can help you." So James and Edward went together to find the coaches. Edward knew all about coaches and trucks.
"Be careful with the coaches, James,"
said Edward.
"They don't like being bumped. Trucks are silly and noisy. They need to be bumped and taught to behave, but coaches get cross and will pay you out."
They took the coaches to the platform and were both coupled on in front. The Fat Controller, the station master, and some little boys all came to admire James's shining rods and red paint. James was so pleased. "I'm a really splendid engine,"
he thought.
"I'm so excited, I feel like going—"
and suddenly let off steam.
James let off steam. The Fat Controller, the station master, and the guard all jumped, and a shower of water fell on the Fat Controller's nice new top hat. Then the whistle blew, and James thought they'd better go. So they went. "Go on, Edward. Shh, 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 shh. Go on, Edward. Shh, 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 shh.
Go on, he puffed to Edward.
"Don't push, don't push, don't push."
Don't push, replied Edward.
Edward didn't like starting quickly. Neither did the coaches.
The coaches were grumbling too.
"Don't go so fast. Don't go so fast. Don't go so fast. Don't go so fast.
Don't go so fast. Don't go so fast."
But James didn't listen. He just wanted to run away before the Fat Controller could call him back. He didn't even want to stop at the first station.
When at last they stopped at the next station,
Edward had to say,
James, stop at once."
Even so, 2 coaches in front were beyond the platform before they stopped, and they had to go back to let the passengers out. Lots of people came to look at James, but as no one seemed to know about the Fat Controller's top hat, James felt happier. Presently they came to the station junction where Thomas was waiting with his 2 coaches. Thomas was pleased to see James. "Hello, James. Feeling better?" "Yes, thank you. That's right." "Ha! That's my guard's whistle. I must be off. Sorry I can't stop. I don't know what that Fat Controller would do without me to run his branch line. Ta-ra! Shh, shh, ta-ra! Shh, shh, ta-ra! Shh, shh, ta-ra! Shh, 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 shh."
and he puffed off importantly.
With his 2 coaches into a tunnel. Edward and James pulled away from the junction. They passed the field where James had had his accident. The fence was mended, and the cows back again. James whistled at them, but they paid no attention. On went James and Edward, through Edward's station yard, and they started to climb the hill beyond. "It's ever so steep, it's ever so steep,
I've done it before, I've done it before,
it's steep, but we'll do it,
it's steep, but we'll do it,
and the two engines puffed together as they pulled the train up the long hill.
They ended their journey
They both rested at the next station,
before setting off for home.
and Edward told James the story of how Gordon had stuck on the hill and he had had to push him up. James laughed so much he got hiccups. He made so much noise he frightened an old lady in a black bonnet, and she dropped all her parcels. Three porters, the station master, and the guard had to run after her, picking them up.
James was still wondering what the Fat Controller would have to say about his top hat.
James got quieter in his shed that night. He had enjoyed his day, but he was a little afraid of what the Fat Controller would say about the top hat. Next morning, the Fat Controller spoke severely to James.
"If you can't behave, I shall take away your red coat and have you painted blue. So there."
James didn't like that at all, and he was very rough with
The grumbling coaches
as he brought them to the platform. "Oh, come along, shh! Come along, shh!" And the coaches grumbled, "All in good time, all in good time, bubble, 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 bubble. Oh, stop grumbling and come on! Shh, 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 shh."
"Don't talk, come on," he called to them.
And James snorted into the station with the coaches grumbling after him. Bubble, 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 bubble. James was cross that morning.
Gordon never has to fetch his own coaches, he thought to himself, and he's only painted blue.
Well, a splendid red engine like me should never have to fetch his own coaches. And he puffed and snorted round to the front of the train and backed onto it with a rude bump. Oh, 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 went the coaches. That was too bad.
To make James even more cross, this time
No one came near James. He felt very lonely. I'll show 'em. I'll show 'em.
I'll show them, he thought.
They think Gordon is the only engine who can pull coaches.
They think Gordon is the only engine who can pull coaches. I'll show them.
Then the guard blew his whistle. And James started off with a tremendous jerk. Come on, shh, shh, come on, shh, shh, come on, shh, 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 shh. And off he went with the coaches squeaking and groaning. They clattered over the points and out onto the open line. Hurry, 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 shh, 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 hurry, 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 shh, 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 hurry, 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 shh, 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 shh.
Hurry, 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 puffed James.
The coaches didn't like it. You're going too fast, you're going too fast, you're going too fast, you're going too fast.
You're going too fast, replied the coaches.
and indeed the coaches were going so fast that they swayed from side to side. James laughed and tried to go faster, but the coaches wouldn't let him. "We're going to stop, we're going to stop, we're going to stop, we're going to stop, we're going to stop."
"We're going to stop," they said. "We're going to stop."
And they stopped. James was very worried. He said to his driver, "What's the matter?"
James asked his driver.
"What's the matter? You might as well ask. The brakes are hard on. There's a leak in the pipe, most likely. You've banged the coaches enough to make a leak in anything." The guard and the driver got down and looked at the brake pipes all along the train. At last they found a hole where the rough treatment had made a joint work loose. The guard said,
"Well, how shall we mend it?"
said the guard.
James's driver thought for a moment. "Well, we'll do it with newspapers and a leather bootlace,"
replied the driver.
Where's the bootlace coming from?"
Asked the guard.
"We haven't got one." "Well, we'll ask the passengers,"
said the driver.
So the guard made everyone get out.
Has anyone got a leather bootlace, please?"
But they all said, "No,
"No,
no, no, oh, no,"
no."
except one man in a bowler hat who tried to hide his feet. The guard said,
You have a leather bootlace there, I see, sir,"
said the guard to a smartly dressed man.
called Jeremiah Jobling.
"Please give it to me."
And Jeremiah Jobling said, "No,
said the man.
I won't."
"Well, then I'm afraid, sir,
Said the guard, "I'm afraid."
I'm very much afraid that this train will have to stop where it is, and it'll be all your fault."
The passengers all said what a bad railway it was.
Then the passengers all told Jeremiah Jobling what a mean man he was.
Instead, everyone was very cross.
And at last he gave them his laces.
The driver tied a pad of newspaper tightly round the hole in the brake pipe,
And James was able to pull the train very gently. But he was a sadder and wiser James, and he took care never to bump coaches again.